Hello everybody, this is Connor from Futures Analytica, bringing you guys another live futures trading session. Today we're going to be using the Polarity Automated Trading Interface to trade ES futures. We're going to be starting the day out here inside of trend mode. Even though we should probably be in regression mode, I do like to start out in trend on ES. You can see there we get our first fill into a long trade here. And that's exactly why we're in trend mode. We're outside of these previous bound ranges here. So if we pull back into this zone, we're going to switch it into regression. But at this point, trend mode seems to make the most sense. Also, let me pull up those execution feed here for you guys. Someone had, oh, there we go, just got filled into a short position here. Let's see if we can end up winning this one. It reached our automatic stop chase there, which is going to minimize our risk for this trade. It's going to actually cut it in half. Kind of a nail biter here. Let's see if we can win it. Also, guys, just to show you, this is in fact not an overlay. Okay, this is definitely going to be a regression mode switch at this point. You can see that we've had multiple divergences, and we've formed a new range. We're inside of these two red and green zones automatically marked by the Analytica Chart 4 Plus, which is included with Polarity in the Stage 3 bundle. See here that at 717 we had a divergence. There's green delta, 70 delta, and a negative price movement. You can see here that we've had also a lot of chop, so that's going to be our regression mode switch condition. Just got filled again, this time into a long trade. Awesome, we're up to $1,200 on the day now. You can see here we definitely have more volatility than normal because we started trading earlier today. You can see here that we bounced off of this automatically marked zone. Just got filled into a short position here. If this trade ends up winning and we push outside of this zone, we are going to switch it into trend mode. However, if we bounce off of it, hopefully we can win this trade. Even if it bounces off, you can see that that's honestly not, it's probably not going to happen here. We got close. We got really close because it was outside of our automatically marked zone there. The smartest move would probably to move that in, but I don't like to have that kind of manual intervention. You can see that unfortunately did lead to our first loss. See really how important these automatically marked zones are. It really just bounced off that twice, and we ended up losing that trade because of that. So we should have been aware. However, that's kind of an advanced move, and that's something you really don't have to worry about usually. But if you really want to maximize your alpha, stay aware of these zones. Just got filled into a long position here. We are going to switch into trend mode if we win this trade. However, we are going to, okay, so we ended up winning that trade. We are outside of this zone. We've confirmed that with that trade win. We are in trend mode now. See, we also have highly correlated delta and price. The last divergence we had was at 721, and that was inside of this range. We actually bounced off two sides before leaving it. You can see here we probably have a little bit of an uptrend here. However, delta has fallen since 722. We've had 409, 161, 103. You can see we're down 61%, down 36%, and now we're starting to lose some steam. 722 bounced off this zone, automatically marked by the Analytica Chart 4 Plus. You can see here we still have correlated delta. We are moving down though. You can see here we're starting to lose some steam with movement, but delta does remain strong in the negative direction, which is interesting. I'd say we're likely going to be using this level now. It's going to be bouncing off this green zone. Yeah, you can see that it's starting to happen. We're going to switch it into regression mode on that note. Hey Cody, the full release, meaning non-beta version of Polarity ML, is going to be released on June 10th. So we have that. We're getting ready to get it out. We're working on some education that's going to come with it to make sure that it is fully complete. Of course, we do have that education in the guidebook, but we want to have something more comprehensive with more hands-on instruction. You can see here we're getting another one of those things where it's just really bouncing off the zone. We really should move our take profit here, but just for the sake of demonstration, I'm not doing that. Yeah, unfortunately, we've moved back up to our entry point here. Hopefully we can still end up winning this trade. Okay, we actually ended up winning that one, and then we got consecutively filled into another. So this is a perfect example of why regression mode is strong there. After we got filled out of that trade, we got filled into another one, which would, if we won this trade, put us back into the regression zone. So the new version of Polarity was stable, with of course that stable mode is going to include a few things. We're going to have that dual model automatic switching between when you switch from regression to trend. It's going to select between two models. So currently there's only one model you can use. Looks like we just got filled into a short position inside of regression mode. That's going to lead us to, because we won that trade, switch into trend mode. You can see we're getting a very strong breakdown, and interestingly enough, we got filled long on trend mode. Those two fills were very interesting that we got for that to happen in regression mode, but I'm going to chalk that up to machine learning giving us a very favorable adversary detection for a short trade and a very unfavorable one for a long trade. But you can see here, we're definitely going to switch back into regression mode. Today is kind of a high workload day, but we're already up 3.3K, so I'm not too worried about that. But you can see here, we have moved up back into this zone, and now we're getting some chop. Delta has decreased, so we had high delta here, and now we're down to 27, negative 67, negative 12. So you can see with that decrease in delta, the market's really losing steam, and I'd say that it's a very low chance that we break out of this zone, at least in the short term. Of course, the reason why I don't bet on things like that is because I could be completely wrong. However, the system is going to be, because the system takes trades for us, I don't have to worry about potential large breakouts. I'm just giving you guys an idea of what I think the market's going to do. So I don't think it's going to be moving up here. You can see here that in regression, we got filled into a short trade. This is outside of this green zone here. So we end up winning that one. We're up to $3,700 on the day now. And this may even constitute a trend mode switch. So when we pass through this with enough delta, this actually canceled all of these derived zones. So now this range is no longer going to be considered. If we move back into this zone, we're not going to be considering that a range to switch into regression mode. Of course, unless we get a new formation of derived zones with new chop around that area. Of course, we'd also be looking at delta for that too. Just got filled into a short position here. We end up winning that one. We're up to 4K on the day now. Just got filled into another short position here. End up winning that one very, very quickly, up to $4,500.44. We're just keeping it in trend mode here. We're getting a lot of movement. We don't want to be in regression at this point. Just got filled into a long position here. We're watching delta, making sure it does remain correlated. We did have that divergence at 730. But right now what we're doing is working, and we don't have any derived zones around, so that single divergence is not enough for us to make a decision. However, we do end up losing that trade. I think it's our third loss of the day, and we're back down to 46.61. So at this point, we are going to be watching that delta continuously. Interestingly enough, we did lose that trade after not making that switch off that divergence. However, that's totally okay. We do need more confirmation than just one single divergence to switch modes. There we go. Just got filled into a short position here. See if we can end up winning this one. There we go. End up winning that one. We're up to 5,000 on the day now. Pretty happy with our output right now. Let's keep trading. We're gonna push it a little bit longer here today. Usually I stop at 5. However, I do want to push the envelope just a little bit today. Delta still looks okay. Delta does indicate trend. However, that's why we're gonna be very sensitive with this. If we exit this zone here, with some strong negative delta, we will switch it into trend. But you can see here we got filled into a short position. There we go, end up winning that one. So that's going to indicate us to switch to trend. But before we do that, we get filled into another short position there, up to 67 on the day now. Look at this. So we have consistently negative delta. We broke through that zone. It canceled that one out. We've canceled this one out, canceled that one out as well. Formation of a new red zone here. So I would be kind of surprised if we broke back into this zone with the formation of this resistance absorption there on that derived zone. We've pushed back into it, and this level here has been canceled out by that because we had enough delta to do so. So we're not going to be considering this chop anymore. This single layer chop, that's going to be irrelevant for our trading right now. We're going to be trying to see if we can get trades in between these two zones here. Yeah, because as you can see, it's no longer inside of those areas. We've actually broken through that, and I think that we are going to be forming that new range. And again, we had price just magically bounce off of this area here that was automatically marked by the software. And I wouldn't be surprised if we bounced off here again. However, remember that, take that with a grain of salt, these zones aren't perfect. And they are also meant to indicate a strong uptrend if we do that. But we just bounced off this zone here. We got automatically filled into a short trade. Let's see if we can end up winning it. If we end up winning it, that's almost prophetic. Yeah, you could see automatically marked. We bounced off that area. We had imbalances. We got filled into a short trade. We ended up winning it. So the Analytica chart 4+'s derived zones have been very, very consistent today. There we go. End up winning that one. Instantly filled into a second trade there. Got filled on that. This one's outside of this zone, so we got put into that one very quickly. And you know, we're not too far below it though, so yeah, you can see that we got moved back into it. But Polarity's put us into a second short trade, and almost immediately after that, derived zone's closed out. So now we have a bunch of downward pressure here. So I'm very interested to see what the market's going to do at this point. I don't have necessarily any predictions for that. However, I don't think it's very likely that we'll just get an uptrend at this point here, but could be wrong. And of course, we're likely going to lose this trade here because we're above our entry. Yeah, there we go. So we lost that trade. I think it's our fourth loss of the day. We're down to 92.68. We'll see if we can get back up. We're trying to go for 10K. There we go. Just got filled. Got that automatic stop chase. So now we're moving up. So we didn't get that downtrend. I guess that's nice for our retirement funds that we didn't get that strong downtrend here. But now we're starting to move up a little bit where we've moved past this zone. But regression has put us into a short trade. So that's going to indicate that the zone's going to continue to hold, that we're going to continue to have this chop, at least if we end up winning it. There we go. Ended up winning that one. Won that short position trade. See that we have divergences continuously here. So regression mode is correct. See, these are days that I love trading. This is exactly what I thrive on. This is why I love trading. This is exactly what I look for in a day. Look at that. We're above our profit target, our little bit overzealous, over risk profit target of 10K on the day. It's going to be my first $10,000 day with just trading polarity, not off of news. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you so much for tuning in today.